today.
Yo, it's the Eddie Block Show. Drunk uncle on the side, ready, let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink low. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, so we got 50 minds for the trolls. Let's roll. Yo, it's the Eddie Block Show. Drunk uncle on the side, ready, let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink low. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, so we got 50 miles for the trolls. Let's roll. Drunk Eddie, Carol keep him in check, along with John Wick and Steve Pence. Johnny Yuma, he got the right diet. Mr. Nice Guy looking heavy, I might try it. Maddie, Courtney, and Evo Knievel. We all know the Lord is coming back for his people. Come get some
Excuse me,
change,
sir.
yeah, trade for Trump. We all love Willow Pie, Brick got the plug. What's up to Kim Toe? I got to say hello to Julius Newman, Ringo Brothers, me Vato. Emily Graham, got the link on like Pronto. Jim Bob's a silly guy, Deborah's head honcho. Gene Spratt and Gene Smith, don't confuse them. Boris might snap off, he's sick of this looting. Richard will pull up and get retribution. So Dawn break of dawn and the Susan Solomon. Following Patriot movements, Brianna the truth. Use them like bruise them. Danny Huddy, saying what's up on the daily now. No,
I know what he
we don't
wants.
play around. These minds just might lay you out. If you wild out, Carol will put you in timeout. You can come test the chat and find out if you're anti from BLM. You can ride out. Yo, it's the Eddie Block Show. Drunk uncle on the side, ready, let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink low. We
There you
got
go, pretty
2
girl.
hours to chat like strange animals.
What's up, everybody?
So we got 50 miles for the trolls.
Let's roll.
What's up,
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today? What is it? It's Thursday, huh? Oh shit, that's right, because I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. It is Thursday. What are we doing here? Man, hope everybody's having a good time. Relaxing, chilling, surviving. Let's get going on here. We're live on EX2, right? Emerge says, thank you for not backing down in the face of this foolishness. Really? Let's see what this dumbass bitch is saying here.
Let's start with the basics. How can we trust
Let's.
your department with you at the helm? The American people deserve an answer, even if you've spent the past year dodging
Where am I doing that?
accountability like it's your full-time job. We need to talk about oversight. Oversight is not optional. It is not a courtesy because you feel like it. It is not something you entertain only when it's politically convenient to you. Yet, time and time again, Secretary Noem, you have treated congressional oversight as an inconvenience at best, and
Shut
at
up.
worst, something to be invaded, ignored, or denied altogether. Republicans on this committee may be willing to hand over their
don't fucking
constitutional
rap.
duty in order to kiss this administration's butt cheeks, but I am not. I will never. My district is not, and the American people sure aren't. While Republicans turned this hearing into a praise fest for your failed 10-year communities across America, including mine in New Jersey, are made less safe because DHS under your leadership has become unproductive and malicious.
Wait a minute. What about how about when they became less safe when you went up and started harassing and pushing around Department of Homeland Security people and Border Patrol agents and ICE facilities, right? What about that?
All of the thank you that we keep hearing from across the aisle, there's no thank you from me. And we see the truth that you're trying to hide. The truth is you are deeply unqualified for the post you hold. This is on full display in the way you treat the people in this body, myself included, who have been elected to serve our communities and keep them safe. Representative Grijalva, Senator Padilla, myself and others whose character, integrity, and
Only
bodies
Democrats.
were attacked by your department without
Only
evidence
Democrats.
and without apology. Far beyond being disrespectful, you have shown a complete disregard for the oversight authority granted to us by law.
Man,
You
how
have
many chins
repeatedly
does she
shown that
have?
you will target whoever you want, whenever you want, without accountability. Members of Congress, members of our communities, and even American citizens, as many of my colleagues have continued to point out today.
Okay, really, the American citizens that she's talking about, they actually were harassing ICE or Border Patrol or all these people. They actually committed crimes. That's why they got messed with, not because they thought they were illegal. So stop making this
Secretary
bullshit up.
Noem, that's not leadership. That's not democracy. And that is not how this works. Again, this is not just about you. Don't want you to think this is just a pick on you day.
It's not about
This is
you
about
either.
the Trump administration that has turned DHS into a political weapon. So I'll ask you this.
Acts.
Is Trump embarrassed by your tenure?
Nope.
Or is this exactly the kind of god-awful
Did you hear how she said 10-year? It's not a 10-year. It's not a 10-year contract. It's called tenure. Your tenure.
leadership he wants at DHS? Yes or no?
Ma'am, we've already conducted more oversight visits. than
No.
the
It's a
entire
yes or
Biden
no. Yes or
administration.
no. Okay,
More
Secretary Noem, this is
congressmen
my
and
time to
senators
talk,
have
not your time to
visited
Shut the
talk.
our
fuck up,
detention
you
I reclaim my
are.
time.
Joe Biden
I
did for
reclaim my
4
time.
years.
Pirate.
I
4 years.
reclaim my
Most
time.
transparent
Chair, I
administration
reclaim my
we've ever
time.
had.
Secretary Noem, DHS is breaking the law, hiding
they're
information from
not.
Congress and shutting out oversight. So let me ask you, how can the
Act.
American people trust your department with you at the helm with this kind of behavior?
American people absolutely trust this department to keep them safe. And we are showing that every day by
wanna
the
go in there
support we
and-
get across the country, the amount of people that we're recruiting to all of our
Thank you,
different
Secretary
agencies.
Noem. Do you
We
agree
have
that using
200,000
DHS
people that have
resources
signed
to
up to be
target
ICE
members of
officers.
Congress is an abuse of power?
Excuse me, would you say that
You
again?
would have heard me if you stopped talking
If you
and
would
listened to
stop
my
talking
questions.
crazy,
Do
you'd
you
admit to
agree
being
stop
that
talking crazy.
using DHS resources to target members of Congress is an abuse of power?
We are not doing that. We are out there enforcing the law, doing our work, and we are allowing oversight
Of course, we're not
visits
going to get any
more than the
answers with
entire
that.
Shut the fuck up. Hold on. We gotta actually click on the exact link from her. This is from C-SPAN. Just do at. I thought I did at representative. How do you say it? What is it? La Monica. You say it ASK, not act, and it's a 10-year tenure. I had to do it. I had to do it. Do it. I had to do it. All right, so breaking news. Brack. Can't speak. Black Lives Matter leader indicted for fraud, money laundering. If I was black and represented LaMonica, whatever, I would call it indicted. Why you indicted that? Why you indicted that? Another BLM leader, and this is Oklahoma City, where Gra is. Well, Gra's not in Oklahoma City, but let's see what this woman says. See all these idiots wearing masks.
We're going to have to lift our voices and stand for one another like we never have before. Because at this juncture in this country, we are watching the systems of white supremacy.
Wait, she has a gun right there?
fascism,
See the gun?
classism, and all of the hatred and vitriolic tactics.
Wait, vitriolic?
We're going to have to.
Oh my gosh, this woman doesn't even know how to spell or say the words either. I'm sorry, but no, it's not about that. It's about the fact that you guys are just, and you want to say, oh, I'm oppressed. Look how fat you are. If you're oppressed, you wouldn't be able to afford all that food to put up and make yourself, you would look like this skinny woman here, right? So shut the fuck up. Somalian woman says she's sick of constantly looking for ICE and not knowing if she's going to get deported. Well, if you wouldn't be here illegally, we wouldn't have to worry about that now, would we?
It's that act of looking over my shoulder, which pains me because I am a United States citizen. This is my home, and I don't want to feel
Well, then why you
unsafe in my
worried?
home. It's harassment disguised as law enforcement.
Are people afraid to leave their homes right
They
now?
are afraid. Yeah, I've heard of people.
Well, that's, then this is a different situation. Your problem is you listen to the Democrats. If you're an American citizen, you're not going to get deported, you freaking idiot. You just watch too much of CNN and shit like that, MSNBC. What the heck is this? Fatigue Whole Food style. All right, before I even start playing the video, I mean, who's getting in a fight in the grocery store? Yo, man, I wanted that mustard. Dude, there's like 50 million more. I don't care. I wanted that mustard. Give me a break. Come on, let's see what this is. Wait a minute. This is Whole Foods, right? There's a security guard here and there's a security guard there. And they're not stopping the fight? What's up with that? Look at everybody just filming it. Still, the security guards ain't doing anything. Are not doing anything. Look at that security guard standing up. He's not doing nothing.
Lots of room, guys. Lots of room.
Damn, and those look good too.
I think it's a draw.
What do you think they were fighting over? Huh? What do y'all think they're fighting over? I'm gonna type in the chat. Maybe this will push it out, so maybe some more people show up. Eric Daugherty, however you say it. Holy crap! Somali refugee exposes there's much deeper fraud. Okay, let's see this. So we know there is.
For having me. There are much deeper issues. I've moved into the U.S. And in Maine about 11 years ago.
In Maine?
Basically, the first question that members of my community asked me which tribe, I belong to, and when I mentioned, so I fell into that category. So there's a deeper tribal rivalry going on in the community, much larger than anybody can actually imagine. And then interestingly enough, even though I spoke very good English, one of the things that I was told to do is go find a discounted housing section 8, which I didn't know what actually it was, and sign up for all the other community benefits within the government or the state. And my response was, I'm actually here to work and build, basic,
like a normal person,
become part of the American fabric, which is
Abdi, I'm
pretty much what I've been working
incredibly
on for a
fascinated by
while.
what you're having to say, so much so that I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to clarify. So when you felt that pressure and you were told to go join, public welfare programs once you moved here, where was that pressure coming from? Are you saying it's like cultural, like neighborhood, like neighbors telling you this is what you should do? How were you pushed in that direction?
Well, it was coming from the community that actually thought that was just a way of life, right? I instead of being asked about what kind of school I want to go to, what subjects I would love to study, and those interesting conversations weren't there at all. And my response was, can we do better things? Can we, as a community, actually integrate? And let's listen to that word, interestingly, because that had got me a huge backlash. This is many, many years ago. That
hey, this guy's boring. We already know what's going on. Jasmine Crockett Toy, Joy Reid, she wants a Senate seat so she can impose ethical guidelines. All right, let's hear what the fuck she's talking about here.
And the only body that has oversight over the Supreme Court is the United States Senate. So ultimately, when it comes down to whether or not they have to finally have some ethics
more power
about themselves, because they are the only justices in this country that do not have any ethical guidelines, or whether it is literally that we just are bringing them in and we are going to have a little conversation with the justices. That comes from only the Senate. Or when we're talking about confirming justices, if we're going to expand the court, and the only body that has oversight over the Supreme Court
is the
United States Senate. So ultimately, when it comes down to whether or not they have to finally have some ethics about themselves, because they are the
Okay, Joy Reid, please zoom the fuck out. Nobody wants to see you're ugly as fuck. Nobody wants to see your fucking face all zoomed in.
only justices in this
Back
country
the
that
fuck
do
up.
not have any ethical guidelines, or whether it is literally that we just are bringing them in and we are going to like have a little conversation with the justices. That comes from only the Senate. Or when we're talking about confirming justices, if we're going to expand the court, and the only body that has oversight over the Supreme Court is the United States Senate. So ultimately, when it comes down to whether or not
Shut up. You're just. I don't know. Does the Senate get paid more than? I don't know if they get paid more or not, but they're 6 years instead of 2. So she probably wants. Oh, I guaranteed a job for 6 years now. You're not gonna win. It's Texas. You know, Congress. I can see you winning. You're in fucking Dallas. You know, liberal area. But now you're switching to. You know, there's only 2 seats for the Senate. No way in hell you're gonna win in Texas. No way. All right, the Sean Ryan show. You know we like to watch him. Apparently, Dan Crenshaw is threatening to sue Sean Ryan for questioning how he's become wealthy serving in Congress. Oh, this should be good because watch what Sean Ryan says he's going to do.
I want to address something directly with all of you who've supported this show and made it what it is today.
Great show.
On December 9th, 2025, I received a legal demand letter from lawyers representing Congressman Dan Crenshaw. They are threatening
one-eyed.
to sue me for defamation because of comments I made on my podcast about a message that he sent me. They want me to remove content, issue a public apology,
Hell no.
and stop talking about him. I'm not going to do any of that. Let me give you full context so you can judge for yourself. What I originally said a while back, I commented on my show about Congressman Crenshaw throwing an extremely expensive party and the fact that he seems to have become quite wealthy during his time in Congress. I raised questions about how a congressman making $174,000 a year can afford that kind of a lifestyle. These are legitimate questions. And to be honest, I didn't even mention Dan Crenshaw's name in that initial conversation.
Interesting.
I just brought up the fact that he was having Steve Aoki, a major DJ, spin at his party. And then, you know, let's fast forward a couple years and they got Steve Aoki DJing their 40th birthday party. How does that happen?
I don't have firsthand experience in this. I have often questioned the same thing.
These are legitimate questions. Multiple news outlets have reported on concerns about congressional insider trading and members of Congress, including Congressman Crenshaw, actively trading stocks while having access to non-public information that affects those very stocks. I'm not the only person asking these questions, but apparently I'm the one that got under Dan's skin. After I made those comments, Congressman Crenshaw sent me an Instagram message. I'm going to publish the actual screenshot so you can see for yourself right here. Here's what it says. Hey, Sean, you have the ability to contact your fellow team guy if you've got a problem with me or have questions about how I'm getting rich. Some of my boys at 6 told me about your indirect swipe at me. From the comment you made, it sounds like you have some beliefs that are based on trendy narratives instead of facts. Now, let me be clear about what I saw when I read that message. A sitting United States congressman who happens to be a former Navy SEAL sent me a message saying, my boys at 6 told me about my criticism of him. My boys at 6. That means SEAL Team 6, Development Group, the most elite special operations unit in the United States military and arguably the world. When I received that message, in the context of me criticizing him, I interpreted it as threatening. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he just meant that some guys he used to work with told him about my comments and he wanted to have a friendly chat. But that's not how it read to me, and I said so on my podcast. Now, here's a clip of Congressman Dan Crenshaw literally saying if he ever meets Tucker Carlson, he will fucking kill him.
Have you ever met Tucker?
We've talked a lot. If I ever meet him, he's the worst person.
So I'm just curious, what would you think if Congressman Dan Crenshaw sent you a message saying his boys at 6 after he threatened to kill Tucker Carlson? Now his lawyers are claiming that my interpretation of his message is defamation. They say I accused him of threatening me with assault, which is a crime, and that I need to publicly apologize and remove the content from my show. Here's my response. No. I'm publishing their full demand letter along with my lawyer's response so that you can read both and decide for yourself whether my interpretation was unreasonable.
I want to see
This
this.
isn't really about whether I misunderstood a message. This is about whether a sitting member of Congress can use the threat of an expensive litigation to silence criticism. I asked questions about Congressman Crenshaw's wealth. Those questions are fair game. He is a public official. He makes decisions that affect all of us. He trades stocks while having access to classified and non-public information. The public has a right to ask how he's getting rich while he's in office. Instead of answering those questions, he sent me a message that referenced SEAL Team 6. And when I said that message felt threatening, he lawyered up and demanded I apologize and shut up. And I won't. Now, what's going to happen next? If Congressman Crenshaw wants to sue me, he can. My lawyers are ready. And if he does, we're going to use the discovery process to get answers to all the questions I originally asked. Questions about his finances and how he affords the lifestyle he's living on a congressional salary. I suspect that's the last thing Dan actually wants. But here's what I think is really going on. Congressman Dan thought he could intimidate me into silence. He thought a legal threat would make me back down. But unfortunately, Dan, you're wrong. I'm a veteran. I've been in combat too. I've faced actual threats. A demand letter from a DC law firm, unfortunately, does not scare me. So let me clarify my position for the record. Congressman Crenshaw sent me a message that said, my boys at 6 told me about my criticism of him. I interpreted that as threatening. Maybe he didn't intend it that way. Maybe he's just really bad at communication. But when a congressman invokes elite special operations forces into a message to someone who's criticizing him, that person is allowed to find it threatening.
I
And
think
you know
so
what?
too.
I still want answers to my original questions. How has Congressman Crenshaw accumulated significant wealth while serving in Congress? What stocks has he traded and when? Did he have access to non-public information that affected those trades? How did he afford that expensive party? These are questions every American should be asking about every
I
member
agree.
of Congress. The fact that Congressman Crenshaw's response is to threaten litigation rather than provide answers tells you everything you need to know.
Right?
To my audience, I'm publishing everything. The original message, the demand letter, my lawyer's response,
should.
because I believe in transparency. You've made this show what it is. You deserve to see all the facts and make your own judgment. If you think I misinterpreted the message, that's fine. Reasonable people can disagree, but I don't think my interpretation was unreasonable. And I'm certainly not going to apologize for asking legitimate
You
questions
shouldn't.
about a public official's finances. To Congressman Crenshaw, sir, if you want to clarify what you meant by my boys at 6, you're welcome to do so. If you want to answer your questions about your wealth accumulation and your stock trading, I'll give you airtime to do it. But if you think you're going to silence me with legal threats, you've badly miscalculated. I'm not going anywhere,
Good.
and neither are the questions. Thank you, Dan. I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Oh, this is hopefully going to get even better. This is going to get better and better. You know, like I said, even politicians you just can't trust. Both sides. Both sides of the aisle are doing it, okay? Just because you're a Republican doesn't mean you have, or a conservative, you have to agree with everything the conservative side does. Just because you're a Democrat doesn't mean you have to agree with everything the Democrat side does. If you are, you're stupid people. You should disagree with people on your side all the time. Like I don't know how many times I said this. If you agree with everything President Trump says, you're a fucking follower. It's okay to disagree with President Trump every once in a while, because that's a normal person. That's what normal people do. Doesn't mean you hate him or you're against him because you don't like one thing he did. Oh my God, you're not a Trump. You don't like Trump. You're against Trump. You didn't. No, I'm not against Trump. I just don't have to agree 100% with everything he does. That's my right as a human being to think my own thoughts. Breaking update. I'm told by the Department of Homeland Security that the mayor of Tucson, Arizona, has been referred to the Department of Justice for potential obstruction after doxing ICE's live location to help illegals evade ICE. Really? Federal agents are currently active on Miracle Mile. You have the right to protest and document these activities. It is very important to remain peaceful while you do so. So she's telling them where, right? Fucking just dumbass. You're a dumbass. Utah judge has officially ruled that cameras can be allowed in the courtroom for the Charlie Kirk murderer trial.
As we restarted, so it's still a problem.
Thank you. I appreciate all parties weighing in on this important matter. And I find that there was a violation of the standing decorum order that was in effect as of October 30th, 2025, based off what's been proffered, as well as the EMC order signed by the court. As previously stated by Ms. Visser, the court does have discretion in determining whether to terminate the broadcast of these proceedings. And again, if there's specific circumstances warrant such action, that the court would need to make findings in order to do so. I find that excluding the cameras from the courtroom would be disproportionate for this hearing. I find that making it very clear, first, that the transmission cannot begin until court is in session and must end as the court ends the session, and cannot be filmed before or after. Okay. The filming of, as previously stated in the decorum order and EMC, must be followed to the letter. The sanction for today is that this camera will be relocated away from defense table to where the bailiff is, where Jeff is standing over here. I want to immediately address any possible transmission of shackles, as previously stated by counsel.
Oh my God!
And
who cares? We all know
the possibility of capture of screens of the computers at defense counsel's table as well. In addition, if there's further violations of the standing decorum order, this court does have the right and will exercise termination of broadcast of these proceedings. And I simply want to put all parties on notice, to the press, to all parties, that this court takes this very seriously. While the court believes in openness and transparency, it needs to be balanced with the constitutional rights of all parties in this case. As such, we will take a brief recess to allow the relocation of the camera and to the place indicated by the bailiff, and then we will resume these court proceedings. I am anticipating this to take perhaps 5 minutes. All right. And then we'll come back on the record and handle the remaining of this hearing. I appreciate the patience of parties as we move forward. We are trying to do the best.
I guess it stopped already. Well, good. What, Bubba's? Oh, poor guy. Breaking news. So the lawyers for Irina. What's up, Paul? So done. They're going to drag the trial on until May. Is that when it's going to go on? It's not going to start till? Oh, at least we'll get to see it, though. At least we'll get to see it. So the lawyers for Irina Zarazutska's, I know I ruined her name, murder, DeCarlos Brown, are starting to claim he's incompetent to stand trial. Well, of course, they always try and get that. They always try and do that to try and get him off. That's the first thing they do is to try and get him off. Hopefully that doesn't work. Hopefully it doesn't work. So this is actually in court today, and I think this is why they're mad, because they were filming him talking with his lawyer, right? And you can see his shackles on. I don't know. Can you see the shackles on his hands? Let's see. King Donnie. Yep, King Donnie is here, huh, baby? You just got a treat, dude. You're not getting any more. He definitely doesn't look like he murdered somebody, right? You would be, you would be like looking down and stuff, not joking around with your lawyer. What, dude? I'm not giving you. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Dang, look at it. She got like 2 sets of boobs on her back. What? Can you get down so I can finish what I'm doing here? Would ya? Would ya, buddy? Get down. Anyways, that was while that was. Get down now, please. Here's a little video from Ben. Let's see what's going on. Ben's in Minnesota right now. Let's see what's going on here.
What a lady!
She's not even doing it right.
Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck Donald Trump!
Don't you just want to rip her nose rings out?
Of anything!
Get the fuck out of here. More whistles. You need to leave. You're not welcome. Get the fuck out of here. I thought everyone was welcome. I thought everyone was welcome. You was ICE? I thought everyone. This is us! We are here! We are here!
Where are you from? Where are you from? That's what happens when you let the third world in.
Yep.
Spitting at officers. Spitting at officers, blocking traffic.
Hey, nigga! Shoot, man! Nigga, I'm illegal, nigga! Bitch ass nigga!
Shit, I just get him out of here. Make America great again. I'm John Fitzgerald, and I am a MAGA. Make America great again. Get him the hell out of here. Get him the hell out of here.
You hear the way these guys are talking to him.
Yeah, no, I want him gone. I want him out of here. They are the most unfriendly.
Of course they are.
We live right across the street from them. And there's been times where this whole cul-de-sac has been completely lined with Mercedes, BMWs.
This is how they talk. Second generation.
Come here! Hey! I'm right here though!
Unbelievable. This is the problem. You got the second, third generation here. You invited them in, invite the illegals in, and then they have kids that hate this country, are taught to hate this country. And then you got neighbors living right across the street that have to deal with it.
There might be repercussions for me because, but 15, 20, 25 know where I live.
Yep. Nah, not what? Goodbye.
Ain't afraid.
Leaving, Paul?
Not backing down.
If you could say something to President Trump, to Tom Holland, what would you tell him?
President Trump, start with Ilhan Omar, get her out of here and drag all of this business here, get them out of here. Yeah, we're Americans. Yeah.
So I noticed you've got a for sale sign out here. How much of that decision has to do with illegals and
Oh no,
the
get him
Somalis
out.
that
I
are here in the
gotcha.
neighborhood?
Oh, a lot. It's a major part of our reason why we want to get out of here. I'm wondering, it's been a little over a year now that we've been on the market. Can't sell, hasn't sold. I have to ask, why not? This is a beautiful neighborhood.
Nobody wants to live
except
next to Somalians.
for that.
With your tax dollars,
Yeah, it's my tax dollars and your tax dollars, and anybody who's listening to this and who sees this, it's your money too. And it just, there it is.
what do you think of your governor and your mayor?
Oh, it's another reason why we're leaving. We just get us out of here. I mean, I hate to feel like I'm the one that needs to leave, but that's how I feel. I'm
And
the
he
one
shouldn't feel
that
that
needs
way.
to leave.
He shouldn't feel that way. He's American. He lived there before
sad.
them.
Very sad. Very sad. Trump, get Ilhan out. Ilhan Omar, get her out of here. Chief O'Hara, our police will not assist ICE. What the hell is this? I mean, what's going on? And those 6 people in Congress don't obey illegal orders from the president. Jeez. I mean, you want insurrection? I feel like it's starting in my neighborhood right across from my house. I'm standing out here in shorts and a short shirt, and man, I tell you what, I'm hot. I'm just,
It's like 1 degree outside and you're out here.
I'm hot. Yeah, I am just hot.
Last thing, what do you say to ICE?
Oh, ICE, God bless you guys. And Kristi Noem, God love you. Stick with it. Be tough.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you.
What a sad reality. This guy's having to leave his house because of unrestricted immigration that invited people that have no allegiance and no love for this country in
It is sad.
and ruin the neighborhood. And now he's feeling like he has to leave.
And he shouldn't.
a
He
shame.
shouldn't feel that way.
We got to do better, America.
Yep. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So this watch this doorbell camera caught the alarming moment. A DoorDash delivery driver sprayed what is alleged to be an irritant on the food order, making the person sick. Let's see. What does she do? Why would you do that? She's a fat, nasty bitch. Did she get arrested for this? Why did she do it? Do they have like Trump stuff out there or something? Let's see if it says anything more about it. Let's see. Where was this? Let's see if we can find out anything on it real quick. See if there's any news. DoorDash driver sprayed food. Let's just type at that. Let's just see what pepper spray delivery food. Oh, so here's the whole thing. Let's see what it is. Indiana, that happened. Okay. Viral video captured the shocking moment a DoorDash delivery driver may have pepper sprayed a customer's order during an Evansville, Indiana, according to local police. The incident occurred early Sunday morning and appeared to be a random attack that reportedly caused the couple excruciating pain. The couple is not standing for it, made his wife sick. Wow. Shows that the woman with purple hair, and of course she has purple hair, dropping off an Arby's order, seemingly taking a photo, then discreetly spraying the bag with an irritant before slipping the spray back into her jacket pocket and leaving. Local officials told Fox News Wednesday that authorities have launched a criminal investigation into the incident. Oh, they blur her face out. Office investigating a report incident in which a food delivery driver allegedly sprayed an irritant for leaving a residence, Sharon Nova said. The individuals report experiencing burning sensations in their stomachs, throat, mouth, and nose, and later discovered video footage showing the delivery driver spraying a substance onto the food bag prior to departure. Well, how stupid can you be? You're telling me she didn't see the fucking Ring camera in front of it? Resident Mark Cardin told local media that he and his wife did not realize the food had been tampered with until they began eating. I noticed my wife had started eating and she started choking and grasping. After she had a couple bites of her food, she actually threw up. I had a look at the bag and seen there was some kind of spray or something. The bag had been tampered with. So I pulled up my doorbell camera and seen that the lady who dropped the food off actually tampered with it on purpose for some reason. Several posts on Facebook, Cardin added that he did not know the driver, suggesting the attack was random and that she had already blocked him on the DoorDash app following the delivery. He described the incident. What is she, man? Maybe didn't pay enough or something? We assume it's pepper spray. That's more than likely what it is. But now, in this day and age, it could have been anything. Could have been rat poisoning. It could have been fentanyl. I mean, my wife could have been dead. Carbon told WFIE that DoorDash has since refunded. They should do a lot more than refund the fucking order. If you can find the video of the guy talking about it. Okay, we'll look it up. We have zero tolerance for this type of appalling behavior. The dasher in question has been permanently removed from the platform, and our team is standing by to support law enforcement and investigation. The identity of the delivery driver has not been confirmed, and no arrests have been made. Anyone with the information? Mark Hayden. Let's look up Mark Hayden. Let's see if we can find a video of where he's talking about it. Fucking just let me leave, assholes. Let's see if there's any video on it. Here, this one's a minute, 56 seconds. Maybe this is it.
Delivering a food order. After putting the order down, she sprays the bag. Was it pepper spray? The woman who ate it started feeling sick. When she and her husband checked the doorbell camera video, they saw that shocking moment. Anne Mercogliano
might even be a dude.
A DoorDash delivery woman drops off a bag of food and takes a photo to document the delivery. So far, so good. The food was delivered to homeowner Mark.
Hello? Fucking Facebook always fucks this shit up. What the hell, Facebook? Let's see if this one will work. Come on. Was my internet going down or something, or what? Why on all these you gotta hit the volume button? Just fucking play with volume.
Food order. After putting the order down, she sprays the bag. Was it pepper spray? The woman who ate it started feeling sick. When she and her husband checked the doorbell camera video, they saw that shocking moment. Anne Mercogliano has the details.
A DoorDash delivery woman drops off a bag of food and takes a photo to document the delivery. So far, so good.
I'm still not sure that's a woman.
The food was delivered to homeowner Mark Cardin's front door in Evansville, Indiana. The meal was from Arby's. Then something happened to his wife, Mandy.
She started eating and she started coughing and gasping. The next thing I know that she's gagging enough that it's made her throw up. And I come in here and I noticed that there was some type of spray on the bag. And that's when I went back and watched the footage from my doorbell camera and realized that the food had been tampered with.
You can say that again. When Cardin watched the footage, he noticed that after the driver snapped the photo, she sprayed something that he believes is pepper spray right on the bag. Why would the delivery driver pepper spray a customer's food? Did they even know who she was?
I've never met her before in our life. Just walk up to our house, spray pepper spray on our food.
Was she unhappy with the tip? Here's a receipt from the order. It shows they tipped $2 on the nearly $28 meal. That's just a 7% tip. I spoke to Sheriff Noah Robinson.
Are you disturbed by what you see on this video?
I am deeply alarmed and disappointed. We're taking the matter very seriously. And
Just because she got a $2
to ensure that this person is held accountable for their actions.
DoorDash tells us they have a zero tolerance for this type of appalling behavior, and the driver has been permanently removed from the platform. They also say they are cooperating with the investigation. Now take a look at this. That woman is a DoorDash driver delivering a food.
Okay, that's the same thing. What a bitch. That's just insane. She arrested. I don't get it. DoorDash, Biden voter. Of course she's a Biden voter. Right in front of the camera. Let's see if there's anything else said about it. Is it a felony to tamper with somebody's food? Probably. So if it's pepper spray, she don't want to get pepper spray in her car. Probably pre-tipping for food delivery is a huge issue. Zero motivation for drivers to provide good service. Most drivers aren't even using heat bags anymore. Well, I don't have my food delivered. Get up off the fucking couch, right? Like I had an experience with DoorDash 2 weeks ago. I ordered some food from, and when I ordered it, they were driving it to me. Then all of a sudden, they weren't moving anymore. And then it said your order has been canceled. I'm like, what do you mean my order has been canceled? And so they automatically sent a second person to go get it. But Deli Delicious refused to give them my order again because they said, well, we gave it to you already. And I called and I even spoke with the owner, and he's like, look, I'm not gonna give you the food. The DoorDash Dasher took it. He's all, it's not my responsibility what happens after that. So I ended up having to drive all the way down there, pay for the food again, and pick it up myself. It's crazy how this shit works nowadays, you know? So I don't DoorDash anymore. I actually canceled my DoorDash. The lawyers, we already were saw this. That's where we were. So breaking news, a federal grand jury in Virginia has once again declined to bring charges against New York Attorney General Letitia James in a mortgage fraud probe. This marks the second rejection following the dismissal of the initial. What the fuck is going on, you know? Oh, you're liberal so you get away with shit? Is that what it's all about? Is that how it works? Hey, where is that sound coming? I'll be quiet for a second. I hear like a bleep. No, it's not going to happen, is it? So they're messing with Kristi Noem today because she was in the Congress. Let's see.
The United States has been operating in a heightened threat environment for several years now.
Yes.
Yes or no? Would you say New York City is susceptible to these kinds of security threats?
Yes, and that's why they should spend.
So with New York City
$440
being the
million
number one terrorist target in the
the
nation,
federal government gave them
with
to
New
use
York
to
City
secure
being
their
the number
city,
one, I
which
reclaim
they
my
did
time, with
not
New York
spend.
City being the
They
number
did not
one
spend the
security
hundreds of
threat in
millions
this
of dollars
nation,
they had
it's
to secure
unconscionable
their city
that you
and
would
to
cut
place criminals on the street each and every day.
$134 million in urban area security initiative funding for the city of New York. What compelled you to knowingly make our cities less safe with these funding cuts?
What compels you, your mayor, and your governor to release thousands of criminals on the streets rather than to turn them over to ICE? You'd rather release
Secretary Noem,
a murderer out onto your street,
you cut $134 million
and honor our detainers.
in
You should
funds
honor our detainers.
to support the
Get violent
security
criminals
of
to get
New
them
York
out of New York
City.
City.
And the city officials assess.
Fucking dumbass liberals. I hate seeing this. But I guess it's a good thing because it probably means we'll win. Gavin Newsom is the clear favorite to become the 2028 Democratic nominee for president. Yeah, no way this dude will win. No way. So check this out. United Airlines has a scholarship program for pilot trainees that distributes its money through identity-based organizations, which target based on race and sexuality. She doesn't take no shit. Yeah, no, she doesn't. This what's making that noise? I don't know what's making that noise. So you must first be accepted to the United Aviate Academy to apply for a scholarship. Anyone can apply regardless of race, gender identity. The scholarship funds are distributed through our partner organizations, Latino Pilots Association, National Gay Pilots Association, Organization of Black Aerospace Professionals, Professional Asian Pilots Association, Sisters of the Skies, and Women in Aviation. They're all race-based and or gay, lesbian type stuff based. In addition to the scholarship, student loans are potential resources. So yeah, they are doing it. I haven't heard this yet, but I heard this is good. Let's see.
It is a fact that you ignored federal court orders in March and in May of this year. Do you plan on ignoring more federal orders?
We
I'm
always
sick, I'm
comply
sick
with
of,
all federal
sick of your lies. And the American people demand the
Because
truth.
you keep saying it doesn't make it true.
I am sick of your lies. The American people are sick of these lies. American people demand truth.
America is very happy that finally they have a president in the White House that gets up every day to keep them safe.
Madam Secretary, your incompetence and your inability to truthfully
All he can do is read his questions. You notice he can't rebut her. He has no rebuttals whatsoever.
carry out your duties of Secretary of Homeland Security. If you're not fired, will you resign?
Sir, I will consider your asking me to resign as an endorsement of my work. Thank you very much.
It is a fact that you ignored federal court orders in March.
That was good. That was good. Breaking news: President Trump says he's considering ending federal taxes on gambling winnings. Good. Why should we pay taxes on money we won? That's not, you don't earn it. You're lucky. When you win, you're still probably down 90% of the time, right? Right? Let's be real here. Gamblers don't make money, really. If you're lucky, there's a lucky few that do, but rarely anybody wins really big on it. Yeah, they love reading off their paperwork, right? What's going on with this dumbass?
Well, now investigators are tracking the web of fraud to other Minnesota Democrats, such as Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Many of the suspects linked to the scheme live in her district, including a restaurant owner who hosted events for her.
Right.
She has since been convicted of stealing $12 million in COVID funds.
This scandal is going to rock the core of Minnesota politics and American
As it
politics. We are going to be able to show through whether it be willful blindness, whether it be deliberately turning the other way, or whether it be direct knowledge, we are going to show how Democrat politicians, Democrat bureaucracies, Democrat political systems, and the Somali refugee population ripped off the American people, stole countless taxpayer dollars, and engaged in scams that boggle the mind, scams that we can scarcely even conceive of or imagine in their brazenness. This truly underscores the extent to which the Democrat Party has used migration as a weapon against the American people to gain political power at the expense of American citizens, stealing their money, stealing their votes, stealing their sovereignty. This is going to be case in point for the argument that President Trump has made about why we must stop mass third-world migration into this country. It is a tool the Democrat Party has used to rob the American people blind.
Big time blind. Big time. And it's not just them. It's there's so many different people that take abuse of our government. Conservative black women versus liberal white women. Oh, this should be good. Let's see.
Can I ask you something? Can you tell me how many black people work in the administration right now under Trump?
But that,
I'm just asking. How many people?
I don't know, but that's like a superficial question, right?
Why? Yeah,
Because it's not
but
about.
Why shouldn't? Let me just say this. Why shouldn't all races, right, be representative, like with President Biden and Kamala Harris in the administration? Why is it always white blonde women that are idiots, and straight white?
There's a white blonde woman next to her.
I'm going to look at the question that she asked. She said the word truly. Truly makes it seem like it's like an absolute. I don't necessarily feel like it's an absolute, but I think he's better than the alternative when you look at everything all together. So when we look at it, it's not about, when he talks about merit, I want a job not because of the color of my skin, but because I'm capable. And nowadays, if I always need affirmative action, but yet you tell me that I'm equal, then I'm not playing on level footing. Hold on.
Okay.
So look at it like this. Prior to, let's say, affirmative action, did whites of all ages, of all economic backgrounds, did they have to compete to get into Harvard?
Yes.
Exactly. So why does a person, because of the color of their skin, get to do it? So it's not about whether or not how many are in. I want qualified people in.
Amen.
Because what happens is when they're not qualified, you know what Black people do? They just hired that idiot because he was a token. Because we know he didn't do the job right. He didn't make us look good. He didn't represent well. We don't, and there is a responsibility that the Black community needs to take about whether or not we're going to measure up. Do you want somebody there just because they're Black, or do you want somebody there just because they're qualified?
Yeah, but okay, but I want someone there. I was brought up. You know, this is what my mother used to say to me, an Italian-Irish mother. My mother used to say to me, not everybody has to be your best friend, but everybody deserves to be treated equal.
I agree with that.
Of course.
Equal. And you want to know what? In the Black community, the Black and brown community, as a white woman, they don't get treated right. So they
Wait a minute. A white woman is telling Black ladies how that Black people don't get treated right.
Who says that?
How do you know?
That's a blanket statement.
Where's your evidence of that?
It's not. They don't get treated.
How do you
Who's
know?
they?
And how do you measure that?
It depends
How
on
do
your
you measure
economic.
that?
Because I talk to people. I work the.
Okay, where is this from? Let's see if we can find these videos. Liberal white women debate Black conservative. I spelled something right. Conservative women. Think we can find it? Think we can find the video? The Dr. Jeff Show.
In this episode, white liberal women and Black conservative women sit down for an
hour
unfiltered
49.
conversation about politics, race,
Is this the
faith,
most you're
and
played?
identity. They'll explore how culture and ideology
Let's watch this part right here.
parties have contributed equally to the rise in political violence.
Well, I believe that both parties have sought to be a part of it equally. I don't think that there should be a boundary. I don't think there was a boundary through that political party.
Yeah, I do agree with her.
Okay, so we got this on save. We're gonna have to watch it all the way through. You should all be fired from my viewpoint. Let's see what this is.
I think it's shameful to see the defense of individuals who break our laws. We are a nation of laws. If we are not a nation of laws, we're no nation at all. And that is what we are doing every day, is following those. If you guys don't like the law, go change it. That's your job. You don't complain. I was raised by a dad who said we don't complain about things. We fix them. Well, go fix them. If you don't like the law, quit bellyaching, quit hitting and attacking our ICE officers, quit going out and protesting and screaming vile things at them, quit calling them names. We wouldn't let our children do that. Go do something that actually matters by having an honest debate and changing the law. That's your jobs. You all should be fired, in my viewpoint. I think it's
Amen.
shameful to.
Amen. Fire them all. Representative Rashida Tlaib says that I shouldn't be funded anymore because they're scaring people. Oh no, you're scaring me with that nasty face of yours right there. Is this the same video we just watched?
Second, third generation.
Yep, it is. Okay. Holy crap! Brutal moment as New York voter calls in and eviscerates Democrat Representative Dina Tinas for giving Medicare to illegals. Oh, this should be good.
Let's talk to Dennis next in New York. Republican line. Go ahead, Dennis.
Yes, I'm a veteran collecting Medicare. I've been trying to get cholesterol and blood pressure medicine under the Biden administration since 2021 to 2024. And I always had a hard time getting a prescription refilled or anything else. It got to the point I actually went down to the office in Western New York Medical. The whole room was filled with illegal immigrants going in and out. I couldn't even get to the counter to get a refill on prescription cholesterol and blood pressure medicine. Anyhow, long story short, a month ago, I was rushed into the hospital with heart failure and that, and I get there, and for the last 6 months, I come to find out that I got kidney failure and congestive heart failure. Not one doctor from Western New York Medical called to notify me. They knew about this for over a year, and now here I am, and I listen to you Democrats saying that illegal immigrants weren't collecting Medicare and it wasn't hurting the American people. I'm dying right now because of them illegal immigrants getting in line before me, and our medical system and our healthcare system
Love
didn't even
it.
have
Not that
didn't
he
even
keeps
call
going
to
through that.
notify me to let me know about this a year ago. Do you have a response for your party and what they're doing to the American people?
Well, let me say I'm sorry for your health problems, and you should have gone to your member of Congress and asked him to help intervene for you with Medicare, but Biden's gone, so let's talk about what you can do in the future. As far as blaming on the immigrants, U.S. law says that immigrants do not qualify for Medicare.
But they get it. We've
I
proven
don't know
it.
who was in front of you in line, but let's look at what caused your problem, see if we can help solve it now instead of just blaming.
Shut the fuck up, lady. We all know illegal aliens get it. Yeah, we saw that one already. We saw that already. Despite being under federal indictment for assaulting law enforcement, Democrat Representative Lamar Christie Noem saying the greatest threat to America.
The greatest threat to the homeland right now is a Department of Homeland Security that the American people no longer trust. A department actively undermined by its
shut
own
up.
secretary.
Shut up. I can't deal with her anymore. Justin, Americans are now demanding the resignation of Representative Benny Thompson after he claimed the unvetted Afghan shooter our National Guard in the Afghan shooting our National Guard in the head. It was only an accident. Only an accident. You gotta be shitting me. Chaos breaks out as the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Noem gets mobbed by leftists after the hearing while holding her grandson. So she's holding her grandson. Let's see how bad it is. Oh my gosh, there's Agnes. That's my good friend Agnes. Look at it. Oh my gosh.
There's nothing worse than someone who uses a baby as a political tool while taking babies away from the family. You cannot use a baby as a political tool while you take away the rights of families. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? You're holding a baby as a political tool. That's separate children from their families. You're separating them. Families. You should have shame.
Oh, Agnes gives the best hugs. She does.
You are concentration camps. You are the modern day SS. You don't think we stop those. Shame on you, Christina. Shame on you, Christina. Shame on you for putting a baby as a toy. Shame on you. Shame on you for using a baby as a separate family. Shame on you. You can't use these babies as political toys. You can't use them as political toys.
Nice. What a bunch of wonderful people there, right? Wonderful people. Look at this. So Time normally does the person of the year, right? Not this year. They gave it to a group of people, not any single one person. So it says person. Words used to matter. They used to have meaning, but the left can't help themselves and continue to redefine words past the point of recognition. Time magazine began naming the person of the year back in 1927. This year, rather than picking a single figure who actually shaped the year, Time hid behind a vague collective, the so-called architects of AI, a catch-all label for 8 or more disparate individuals who do not constitute a single person in any meaningful other sense. Very lazy. You know why they did it? Because they didn't want to name President Trump as Time Person of the Year. That's why they did it. Senator Eric Schmidt destroys a fake news reporter after she defends narco-terrorists. Oh, let's see this. This should be good.
If you can seize a tanker without killing anyone,
What's that?
If you can seize an oil tanker without killing anyone, shouldn't that have been the way that these fishing boats were also stopped?
Fishing boats? What is a fishing boat?
Well,
the drug runners?
The drug runners.
Those aren't fishing boats.
Yeah, but
those aren't fishing boats.
If you can seize a vessel without violence.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Article 2 authority. The president, as the commander-in-chief, has identified and designated terrorist organizations who are cartels who run drugs that kill 100,000 Americans a year. So there's no legal question that he has the legal ability to blow those boats out of the water, and they will continue. This, however, these were economic sanctions by the president as delegated by Congress. Those were enforced by civil authorities with the aid of the U.S. Navy. So we're talking about two very different things. But if you're asking me if I have sympathy for narco-terrorists killing Americans whose boats that are carrying the drugs that kill Americans, I don't. I have sympathy for my neighbors in Missouri who've been poisoned, who die. And we finally have a president who cares about them more than the Democrats care about going down to El Salvador to drink margaritas with terrorists.
Senator,
that's how I feel about it.
Do you believe that the Trump administration should try to overthrow Maduro's regime?
That's not, we're not talking about that at all. We're talking about actually enforcing sanctions. And so, and again, sort of letting the world know that we have important interests in our own hemisphere.
But it is something the administration is weighing. The president was kind of open about that.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, that's an assertion you're making.
Senator Hawley has expressed opposition to U.S. troops on the ground in Venezuela. Are you open to troops in Venezuela?
I trust President Trump is going to make a good decision here. So he's a realist who understands that we have to, again, pivot away from Europe's over-reliance on the generosity of Americans. They have failed and refused to step up for their own continental defense. That has to change. And so we have real interest here in our own hemisphere. We have real interest in the great competition with China. So that's what my focus is. All right, thanks, Ed.
Right on. Oh, that's why I turned that down. I was wondering why I seem quieter. A liberal woman says whenever she sees someone displaying the American flag, she automatically assumes they're racist. What the fuck?
I cannot be the only person that feels this way. But every time I see the American flag, whether it be on somebody's car, like a sticker, or like they're wearing it on a hat or their shirt, or it's like hanging up outside of their house, like I'm just going to assume you're racist. Because
no, you're racist for saying that. You can't even say why. Elon said slavery was standard practice throughout human history until it was ended by white people, which is true. White people ended it. Epic. ICE agents are now going inside Somali restaurants in Minnesota, and local Democrats are furious about it. Oh, this is good. Let's watch this. Hey, Paul. So, Paul, I know you live in like a smaller. You live in farmland, right? But do you see any Somalians around where in your area where you're going? Just curious. I don't see anybody getting mad, so I don't understand this one. Hi, Panda. Crazy SJW. What is SJW? Tells criminals to avoid Kentucky or they'll hang you. Really?
Whatever you do, if you ever in your life come to the state of Kentucky, please
Panda,
do not catch a case. They're going to deny you due process. Your public defender will misinform you. They do not go by the book by any means. These people in Kentucky, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, will do any and everything to hang you, I swear. So like
I don't know why these people have to use these jump cuts. Just make it all in one shot. Stop being lazy.
Whatever, and I mean whatever you do, please do not come to the Commonwealth of Kentucky and catch a case. Also,
oh my God, shut the fuck up. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, we are for the transformation the city is looking for. Let's see.
We are the transformation that this city is looking for, but make no mistake about it, there are those who are intimidated by this level of power, right? Because in some instances, those who held the power before are living in their own guilt and shame. And so they are intimidated by this. Oh my gosh. We have to demonstrate.
What good are you doing for it? Dude, so me and my stepdad, well, we ordered a holiday package from Cat's Deli. So we both like pastrami and corned beef and stuff. And it came with full sour pickles. I've never had full sour pickles before, and I'm still not even sure if I like it. I've only had one so far. I'm gonna have to try some more. But yeah, I don't know. Paul, have you ever tried sour pickles before? I wasn't a big. I don't think I'm a big fan. I don't know. Oh, is that your brother? I think that's your brother, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. Former DJ, broadcaster, pro wrestling fan, baseball fan. Oh, cool. Different Eric. Let's see what else we can find on X right now. Then we'll just go watch some. I got some YouTube videos you're going to like with me, Paul. I've been watching these things. You're going to have to watch them. Trump to sign an executive order reclassifying marijuana to Schedule 2. So what is the difference? Schedule 2 drug. Does that mean that we, what does that mean? Is a highly regulated substance in the U.S. Controlled Substance Act, meaning there's a high potential for abuse, but also accepted medical uses. Oh, so that means it's going to become, if it's a Schedule 2 drug, that means it's going to become, as long as you have a medical marijuana card, you can get it. Okay. Let's move it in the right direction. Move it in the right direction. What's up, AC? What the hell is going on? We were close to a peace deal between Russia and the Ukraine. Trump confirmed the U.S. would play a security role. Let's see what's going on here. Are they called dill pickles?
Mr. President, just briefly,
let me
you
get
made a commitment to the Europeans back in July, if I remember right, to participate in some kind of a peacekeeping force should there be a peace agreement. You mentioned, I think, air support, intelligence, and so forth. Does that commitment still stand? Is the U.S. ready to go contribute to
It's
this?
called the security agreement, basically, that they call it, the security agreement. Yeah, we would help. We would help with security because it's, I think, a necessary factor in getting it done. I thought that we were very close with Russia to having a deal. I thought we were very close with Ukraine to having a deal. In fact, other than President Zelensky, his people loved the concept of the deal. You know, we threw something out.
This is the four-part deal that you...
Well, there's 4 or 5 different parts. It's, you know, a little bit complicated because you're cutting up land in a certain way. It's not the easiest thing.
None of the audio seems to be on. Okay, let's see. Are sour pickles dill pickles? Sour pickles, full sour, and dill pickles differ mainly in their preservation method and flavor profile. Sour pickles are lacto-fermented in a salt brine for weeks, becoming intensely tangy, soft, probiotic-rich, and often garlicky. Dill pickles are typically quick pickled in vinegar brine with dill, resulting in a crisper, brighter, herby flavor. So kosher dills blur the lines. Interesting. So look, I have. So this is what the lid says. Full sour pickles from Cat's Deli. We ordered this out of New York, right? So let's see. They're definitely, I love pickles, right? But they're definitely sour. So sour is the right word for them. I'm trying to figure out if I like them or not, though. They're definitely crunchy. The first bite is really sour. The second bite is better. But they're definitely crunchy. Wait, I got a lot more of the sour juice too. AC, have you ever had sour pickles before? I'm trying to think of what I can relate them to. I mean, they're decent. I think you're right. It is more salty. I think maybe it's the salt kick in it. Maybe that's what it is. Are we on the same stuff that I've been? Oh no, this is all new stuff. Michael Savage. Have you guys ever listened to Michael Savage show before? He's pretty good. I used to listen to him a long time ago when Barack Hussein was still in office. This is perfect. Illegal aliens. What's this? Must be a video.
Are you an illegal alien in the United States? Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift for your family? Then DHS has the best holiday deal of your life. It's the CBP Home app. It's free. It's fast. Just download the CBP Home app and fill out your information. We'll take care of your travel arrangements, and once you're home, you'll receive a $1,000 stipend. So don't delay. Join the 2 million illegal aliens who have already left. Download the CBP Home app today and get home for the holidays.
Yep. Go for it. Please do. Muslim man follows a cop in Arlington, repeatedly screaming Allah Akbar, which means
DC reported.
Now keep walking.
This is what our country's going to do.
One, come back. What the fuck you want to do?
these are the people we're allowing into our country.
Repent and believe the gospel.
Allahu Akbar.
Man. Legalized boat purchasing, bridge to nowhere. Oh no, this is about. Next order. Border Patrol Chief Bovino absolutely torched several Democrat governors. Oh, let's watch this.
You know, Pritzker hasn't got it figured out. I don't think he could figure his way out of an open field. I think the support here is unprecedented, though.
Yeah, it seems like more and more people are willing to actually speak out in favor of the Border Patrol actions and such, because you look at what just happened out there in North Carolina. Again, on the light rail, exactly. Another murder by an illegal.
That individual should never have been there.
Yeah. And you guys were trying to take people like him out just a few weeks ago.
Exactly. And we did. We took a lot of those folks out. And they still are. I mean, we're still there. We're still in Chicago, still in L.A.
But the governor won't work with you.
Governor Steen in North Carolina will not.
I had to turn off those monkeys bragging on windows in the cities, let them freeze their ass off.
Louisiana State Police right there. And that allows these gentlemen to get their work done.
Yep.
Without having protesters and violence following in every step of the way. So it allows us.
Did you watch the whole entire Kristi Noem thing today, AC?
First time ever. Nick, this is the first time we're a week and 2 days into this. Not one physical assault, not one vehicle ramming, no violence against Border Patrol. And it's because of Landry, Kenner Police Department, Chief Connolly, Louisiana State Police. So we're really happy about that. We just want to
Louisiana's helping them out. That's good. Somalis in Ohio are allegedly running EBT frauds. Oh, let's see this woman.
More Somali fraud has been exposed out of Ohio. This is getting out of hand and they're all being exposed. Listen to this. Somalis in Ohio are allegedly running EBT fraud rings using SNAP benefits to stock their restaurants, skimming cards to make millions. More than 34,000 Ohio households have been duped out of nearly 17 million in SNAP benefits from June 2023 to December 2024, with Somali migrant criminals using skimming devices at grocery stores to clone magnetic strip cards and steal the money, according to the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services. In addition, a recent report details how Somali-owned restaurants and grocery stores in Columbus are exploiting benefits. According to the report, migrants own restaurants with attached grocery stores that they own. They buy their ingredients in bulk with SNAP from their grocery stores, then funnel the food to their restaurants where they sell it for cash.
Wow.
One report claims that the Somali migrant men who own the restaurants typically have numerous wives. That's crazy.
No
snow
yet.
First wife, so that subsequent wives are able to collect welfare benefits that are then used to prop up the stores and restaurants. This comes as of a 2022 audit of Somali Community Link, a Columbus nonprofit funded in 2020 by Somali migrants, exposed.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of this. No, there's no snow here yet. They say it's going to be a warm winter. Hey, what the heck's going on here? This looks interesting.
You didn't want to move your car, so now you're not going to leave.
Yeah, I am going to leave. Can you get away from my door?
No, you're going to sit here and wait until Joe Anderson gets off his call. He's on a very important call right now, and then he's going to come out and he wants to talk to you.
What are you talking about? I'm not waiting for anybody.
I guess it looks like you're going to have to because you're not getting out of the car right now.
So just to be clear right now, you're punishing me for parking in a public street parking spot.
No, I'm not punishing you. I came out here as a friendly neighbor, and I told you that this is my spot.
It's not your spot. This is public street parking.
Easy access for me, and I always know where my car is.
It's easy access for me as well.
And my husband, Joe Anderson, and I, like to park my car here. Okay.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
And everyone on the street understands that. Everyone on the street is very friendly.
Good for
Like
everybody
I told you
else.
already, I've lived here 12 years. So I've lived
How
here
am I
a
not friendly?
long
Just
time.
because I took a spot that was open on the street does not make me not friendly. You're the one that's not being friendly by running up to my door and blocking my door. So
She's actually kidnapping you right now.
Out of my door
what?
now.
If this was your spot, I
Yeah.
wouldn't park here. How
Okay.
about that?
Okay, great. That's great. I'm so
Does it have
happy
your
to
name
hear
written
that.
on
Now
it?
can you- I'm
Joey
getting out.
Anderson is on a phone
Good
call.
for you.
No,
I'm
you're
getting
not
out.
getting out.
Yeah, I am.
I don't think so.
Move. I'm opening my door.
No,
Yeah,
you're
I
not.
am. I'm opening my
Just
door.
try.
I'm opening my door. What are you doing? Are you kidding me?
Oh. You parked in my spot and now you punctured my lung.
How did I puncture you? You just slammed my door shut.
Oh yeah, you are definitely not leaving now.
What the
Are you
heck?
kidding me? You're faking it. You're obviously faking it.
I'm not faking it. You
Yes,
just
you are.
like assaulted
If
me
you have a
almost.
punctured
I
lung, you
assaulted
wouldn't
you.
be able to talk.
How would you slamming my door be an assault?
I can barely even breathe. You are a
Oh my
really
gosh.
rude neighbor.
I'm a rude neighbor.
We don't like people like that on the street.
All right, can I just say, if
Like,
you
time to
actually,
move.
if you had your lung punctured, you wouldn't be saying that I'm just a rude neighbor.
Okay,
You
well,
would
maybe
need
it's
help.
not punctured, but it's definitely affected.
It's affected.
Your lung isn't
You
even
have an
right there,
affected
lady.
lung.
You park in my spot. You affect my lung. You don't know who my husband Joe
I
Anderson is.
don't know who your husband is. No,
You're
I
really
don't.
something else.
I'm something else.
Yeah.
You're something else, actually.
Wow.
So can you move now? Because I'm getting stop. Don't get on my car. Seriously, back off my car.
moving.
You're not moving, really.
I would call the cops on her.
I'm not moving until my husband Joe Anderson has a little conversation with you.
Okay.
Okay, before we even go farther, I gotta look up who Joe Anderson is. Let's see if we can figure out this person. Joe Anderson. Notable people, primarily English actor. No, I doubt it's that. Politician, British Labor, so that's not. Retired U.S. Marine Corps general, a test pilot, leader. It could be this one. Senior guard for no. Union leader, could be a union leader. I don't know. Let's see if her husband walks out. Joe Anderson. Joe Anderson wife. Hold on, let's see. Let's type in wife. Let's see which one it is. Okay, so we have it there, but let's finish the video here.
I don't care about Joe Anderson. I'm gonna leave now. So if you're not gonna go on that side, then I'm gonna get out of this side.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I am. What are you doing? Stop.
You're not going to get us this side either.
Oh my God.
You're going to sit there and you're going to wait until my husband Joe Anderson comes and
You
talks
can't
to you.
hold me captive in my own car.
Okay, so it's not going to show the whole thing. Let's see. Let's see this one. Let's see if they.
Let's face it, most of the insurance industry can
Hold
feel.
on.
I knew that you would circle back and park in my spot.
Okay, because this is public street parking.
He's going to circle around the block.
Is that the
and
same
park in my
outfit she's
spot.
wearing? Yeah,
This
it
is
is.
public street parking. I'm allowed to do that.
How many times do we have to go over
Let's
this?
see when her husband shows up.
You're actually crazy. This is public street parking.
Oh my gosh! So that's her husband. Hold on. So let's look up Joe Anderson because I saw that picture. Joe. Let's see who this person is. This is him right here. That's on TikTok though. Let's go to images. This might be fake too. This might be a fake thing. I think it's fake now that I'm looking at it, but let's watch it.
I can't emphasize enough. I don't know what that
Come out
means.
here and try to talk some sense into you, and nope, not going to happen, right? Because nothing goes through there.
Yeah, because this is public street parking.
What's up, Gavin?
I can't emphasize enough. This is a street.
I
It is
can't
public.
emphasize enough.
And what?
that
Why can't you
D.
emphasize?
Joe Anderson
Oh my gosh.
very politely tried to ask you to move your vehicle. Then
Why do you refer to him as
D.
D.
Joe
Joe
Anderson had to get on the phone with the police.
Yeah,
You're
this
actually
is
crazy.
fake.
You're insane, and
This is
Yeah,
fake.
that's it.
this.
Can you guys break up not right next to my car?
fault,
This is
okay?
my fault.
I think this is all fake. It's all fake. It's just a ploy to get us to watch it. Oh, Jazzy Crockett.
People have been saying, what can I do in this moment? How can I help? Because people are feeling anxious, right? Here it is. We've got vote by mail applications that can be requested right there on January 1. People will start getting their ballots in January so that they can vote. And then early voting starts in the middle of February. So it's go time right now. And if you are interested in joining the team, go to jasmineforus.com, sign up to be a volunteer, because I do believe.
Wait a minute. Did she just say Jasmine for us?
Go time right now. And if you are interested in joining the team, go to jasmineforus.com.
It's Jasmine for US is what I think, but she's saying for us.
Sign up to be a volunteer, because I do believe in the power of the people and taking all of this harnessed energy and using it to make sure that people understand it's bigger than Texas. This is about our democracy. This is about this.
Oh my gosh. If I lived in Texas, I would sign up for that just to freaking go mess with her. Breaking news, COVID mRNA vaccines can cause heart damage by triggering immune cells to go on attack, scientists have found. Oh, you don't say. Ooh, let's see what Scott Jennings is saying here.
Do you think Governor Pritzker should stand down on his efforts, given these Republicans stood up to Trump?
Absolutely not. Us discussing this Indiana situation and to see a Democratic debating partner tonight cheer on Governor Pritzker and his continued redistricting, gerrymandering efforts just goes to show you that Republicans are rookies when it comes to redistricting. We are nowhere near as practiced or ruthless when it comes to redistricting as these Democrats. You get state after state after state where Republicans have virtually no representation in Congress at all. Illinois is already one of the most, if not the most, gerrymandered state in the nation. So
no, I think that's California.
Make no mistake, gerrymandering is a Democratic skill set. Republicans are still pikers when it comes to this. But I got to tell you, what you heard tonight is what they're going to do. They're ruthless. Democrats have shut down the government. They've told the military to stop following orders. They're trying to redraw maps. This is the future with Democrats, a ruthless kind of politics, and Republicans better wake up to it.
Do you think Governor Pritzker should stand down on his efforts, given these Republicans stood up to Trump?
Absolutely not. Us discussing this Indiana situation.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. Earmarks are back and they're threatening our future. Walking earmarks, a deadly epidemic. After a decade-long moratorium, Congress has reverted to congressionally directed spending. The polite new name for pork barrel products subtly slipped into must-pass bills with almost no review or opportunity for debate. Wonder what that's all about. I mean, I get it. I get what they're saying. So what they have a bill that they know is going to pass because it has to pass, right? So they throw in all these little earmarks in there where they earmark money to stuff that they would never get passed if it was a bill on its own. That's why I keep telling folks, we need to get back to single bill bills. Concerns exchange between Jocelyn Ballantyne, who is not a party in the civil lawsuit filed by Dan Richmond, is too close for comfort. Yeah, I know the lady. I've been grilled by the lady. I've spoken with her outside, well, not outside of court, but outside of being on stand. Grand jury still won't indict Letitia James. Why do you think that is? Why? I don't care about Neuralink. Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson makes first appearance in court. And so they ruled we get to watch it, right, Paul? We saw that earlier. We get to watch it at least. Are you guys hearing that little noise every once in a while? Or is it just me? Maybe it's my headphones. Wonder if it's my headphones doing that. We saw this. Gavin Newsom just deployed Cal OES fire and rescue resources, including 100 to Washington State to support flood response efforts. Oh, let's watch this.
To all of Thank you, Secretary Noem. Do you agree that using DHS resources to target members of Congress is an abuse of power?
Excuse me, would you say that
You
again?
would have heard me if you stopped talking and listened to my questions.
Crazy,
Do you
making
agree
stuff up.
that using DHS resources to target members of Congress is an abuse
Shut the
of
fuck
power?
up.
We are not doing that. We are out there enforcing the law, doing our work, and we are allowing oversight.
Of course, we're not
visits
going to get
more
any
than the
answers. With
entire
that,
Joe
Mr.
Biden
Chairman, I
administration
yield
did.
back.
You should be in jail, bitch. President Trump just signed his dangerous and most likely illegal executive order to stop states from protecting you from the downsides of AI. Anything I'm missing, AC, if you're still here? Yeah, the BLM lady from Oklahoma City just got arrested. Or was she arrested? Accused of diverting $3.15 million in return bail checks into her personal accounts. Wow. All footage of pipe bombs being planted at RNC and DNC were deleted. I'm not surprised hearing that. Anything else good? I don't think anything else is good. Breaking news, President Trump. Well, we already saw that a minute ago. What is the Divine Nine? Must be some kind of college thing. I want to see that. Watch video shows a security guard speeding past multiple planes on a busy runway, John Wayne Airport in California. He was experiencing a possible medical emergency and took him to the hospital. Wow. That could have been big time. I've been to the John Wayne Airport. I stayed at the Sheraton right outside of there. And I flew out of there. I don't remember where I flew to. It's right by Anaheim, though. Levi is a medical here. The pharmaceutical insurance. Let's see what this guy's doing.
I think that one of the most important aspects to a healthy society, the healthy population, are the children. If we are not going to have healthy children, we are not going to have healthy society.
I agree.
And vaccine mandates are,
it's a black sorority.
To me, an immoral act against children. And it's directly connected to some of the actions that we have seen during the COVID pandemic management, where we basically, as a society, sacrificed children, prevented them from going to schools, where there is ample science that indicates that this is really critical for their long-term health and long-term development. So,
of course they are. Tina Peters, yeah, he pardoned her today, I think, right? Didn't he pardon her today? Yep, granted for Tina Peters. University of Michigan's president is addressing a controversy surrounding Sharon Moore. An email sent to students, he called Moore's allegations inappropriate. Okay, what are the allegations? What is he alleged to have done? Here we go. Also sent a mass email. The Department of Intercollegiate Athletics dismissed head coach with cause for violating university by engaging in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Inappropriate. That happens all the time, though, right? I mean, it's all the time. It's a work-related thing. Unless he was doing something really bad with her, if they're both adults and in agreement, I don't really see the problem. Unless she's an underage person. What's this? How to win a debate against Jasmine Crockett. Let's see.
Host of the Benny Johnson Show.
That's
Benny
what I thought
Johnson.
too.
All right, so Newsom's out there doing
That's what I thought too, Gavin.
14th million podcast. How's it going for him? They say he's the front runner.
Well, Gavin Newsom is somebody who's going to have to explain why California looks very much like Somalia these days, why California is one of those states that is in total and complete collapse. As you said, the Tenderloin in San Francisco does, in fact, look like a zombie movie. We've been there many times, Jesse. It's totally and completely horrifying. And when you live in a state like I do, of Florida, what everybody says is don't California, my Florida. Everybody can see what's going on, what Gavin's leadership has brought.
I thought Benny Johnson lives in Washington, D.C., and that's where people were attacking him.
To that state.
Where's
there are just far too many problems, but I'll just jump back to your colleague Sean Hannity's debate between Gavin Newsom and my governor, Ron DeSantis, where Ron DeSantis won by just holding up a poop map.
You remember that? That was great.
The poop map.
I don't think he'll do that well in a primary debate. Everybody could just hold up a poop map and it's done. Crockett, though. Crockett, she's running. She's running in the great state of Texas.
No way
How's
she'll
that
win.
going to go?
This is a gift for Republicans in Texas. Allegedly, the NRSC that does all the fundraising and Senate recruitment for Republicans, they tricked her into running for the seat. They ran internal polling in order to tempt and
He lives
to
in
ebb
Tampa,
somebody
Florida?
who obviously has.
Wait a minute though. He's showing all this stuff where people have gone to his house in Washington D.C. Right? Let me see. I could be wrong. Kenny Johnson, Washington D.C. Doesn't he live in Washington D.C.? Green one. Really about Washington. He previously lived there for approximately 15 years before okay, that's where I got the DC from. Okay, I'll shut up.
A huge black hole narcissistic personality into running. And now you can see the Republicans in that race licking their lips. They cannot wait to do a debate with Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett, I think the big question is going to be, which accent is she going to use on the debate stage? It's the same question with AOC. I pray to God, I do, truly, for a Christmas miracle, Jesse, which is an AOC Jasmine Crockett ticket. It'll be like an SNL sketch every night.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, that'll be great for all of us. Yeah, how does she think she's going to win in Texas, right? She won Congress in Dallas, which is very liberal. Senators, there's only 2 per state. So, yeah, you're gonna have, Texas is a very red state. She's not going to win. No way. I don't know if you understand. Kamala Harris gave a shout out to the Divine Nine as JFK warned about secret societies. I've been to some not sorority. What's the other one? Are you guys hearing that little click, every once in a while, or is it just me? It just happened right there. Did you guys hear that? I'm gonna have to go and listen to the stream and see if I can hear it, or if it's just coming through my headphones. I don't see it on my Rodecaster. So maybe you guys aren't hearing it. Well, let's go to YouTube. Let's see what we can find on here. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, Paul, that you're going to like. Male privilege. Let's go to whatever clips. See what's the first one is up. Is OnlyFans prostitution? What do you guys think? Is OnlyFans prostitution? You don't hear it? Okay, thank you.
But you decide to settle for a OF Muppet. Why are you talking shit about my homie Kate?
I didn't do OF when we met. We decided to go into that together. And where do you think the drip came from? Hello?
But I mean,
you think you had this before?
But isn't that objectively worse in a way?
No, he's not settling for like an OF Muppet. It was more of like it was more of going into a business opportunity together.
Dude, that woman looks like she could kick a lot of men's
That's what
asses.
I'm saying. Like, wouldn't that in a way be where, like, if you had a wife and she wasn't engaged in prostitution and then you engaged with her in prostitution, I consider OF to be.
Where's the prostitution?
I consider it prostitution.
Oh.
It's selling sex.
Okay, well, I can consider anything to be a label.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
Yeah, but I think that well, look, I'm just telling you how I consider it.
Okay.
I consider it prostitution. I think that.
All right, guys. There's only guys in here right now. Would you want your wife or girlfriend to be an OnlyFans model? Would you marry an OnlyFans model or a stripper or any type of stuff or a porn star, any of that? I wouldn't. I wouldn't want a girlfriend that everybody's seen naked and pays to see naked. I wouldn't want to, especially if it's just a girlfriend. Can you imagine what it'd be like your wife doing that? No way. No way. What do you guys think?
Sex works broadly falls under the category of prostitution. But if that's the
Right,
case,
Paul?
it's like if your wife wasn't engaged in prostitution, then was, right? How that seems to me even more objectively worse than if she was a prostitute and then, maybe later she wasn't or whatever. That almost seems objectively worse. Like almost you allowed the corruption to happen type of thing. I think that's the intent of the chat anyway.
Well, I think the part I think that I focus on is like the settle. And so it's like, yeah, I think anytime you feel like you're settling, that's like probably something you should, consider again. But like, that's the presupposition being made, right? Because if it's not settling and I'm okay with it, then what's the issue, I guess? Well, like it's our marriage, not if he doesn't want that.
That's true. But I think from at least if you look at the social categories of morality, if you're talking about
like, who is this guy?
In this case,
is he an OnlyFans model?
That's usually going to be in one of the lower categories of morality. We're going to consider that low on the moral scale for.
So apparently, from this show, they only get OnlyFans models and porn stars. So all of these people here is either an OnlyFans model or a porn star, and none of them are wifey material. Or I guess husband in his case, but I'm not gay, so
work or whatever it is that you're doing. So if that's the case, if you're like, well, this person was not engaging in that immoral behavior before, and with you now they are.
I'm not giving you a treat,
they'd almost think like you assisted in the immoral behavior. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, or at least I just didn't weigh in strongly against enough. Right. I guess would be the thing.
Don't get me wrong, she's smoking hot. But still.
It started off as like kind of a compliment, and then it went to like, why'd you settle for this person? So it feels like he's just wanting to attack her because I don't think any of that characterization is particularly true.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's commonplace for especially the Christian right to be pretty heavily against.
Like, I don't think this girl has a brain right here at all.
Because they consider it categorized the same exact way. At her. Mm-hmm. And so if that's the case, like that's part of their pushback in societies. They don't want the normalization of it. That's the whole goal, right?
No, I agree. I think it's terrible for like a normal circumstance. Most girls who do OF, they will not succeed and they just ruin any kind of social dynamic they would have had with a potential partner or like a workplace or anything. I think most of the time it's not good. I think the difference with us was we already had each other. We already were in a good financial spot. Before.
Wait a minute. That's her boyfriend or husband? How did you get her? That's what I'm wondering about. How did you get her?
Or even starting social media in general, as most probably should be.
But the criticism that you would hear most often there, because I've heard this a lot, right? Like there are OF or sex workers or prostitutes who will come on the show and discuss their, kind of like the inner workings and dynamics. And what I've noted is there are some who will say like, look, I'm a success story. And that is true. Like almost nobody's going to succeed at OF. That's true. Almost nobody's going to succeed as a podcaster. And almost nobody's going to succeed as a great welder either. Okay. Like it's really hard to succeed as one of the kind of like cream of the crop. You probably know this from IFBB. There's lots of people around who are really strong and really buff, but they just never get anywhere. It's like most of them, right? And the cream rises to the top, as they say. But I would just point this out.
She's even got
one
a
of the big criticisms that comes when sex workers say that is that they're just trying to pull the ladder up. So the idea is like, hey, it actually behooves me to say not to engage when you're 20 years, or not in your case 20 years, but like 10 years younger in sex work because now you become a competition, right? So you're pulling the ladder up by saying, well, you couldn't be successful at it either. That would be the other criticism back.
Sure, I've heard that. And I can definitely see that perspective, but it actually is just very unlikely just because of how saturated the market already is.
I'm just
once again, how did that guy get her?
But I actually do agree with you that it's like extremely unlikely that that most women will succeed at it, and it's just baffling to me why so many still go into it.
But I think another point to Mr. Wilson's point is that with you,
there was a moment there where there was some disagreement about the categorization of the term used, prostitution. Willow, in your notes here, you write. You had a disagreement with Andrew calling sex workers prostitutes, and you write, sex workers have far more rights and access to their money. Prostitutes are more human trafficked. Do you want to elaborate a bit?
Yeah, I've actually been waiting for this moment because I watch you guys a lot. And
this is more so Andrew's argument.
Okay. It's your moment.
I know. I'm
It's
ready,
your
Andrew. I'm ready.
Get me a beer for her moment. I got it.
This
Here we
comes
go.
mainly because I am also focused on starting a nonprofit, and a big focus on that is the exploitation of children and human trafficking. My best friend was a prostitute. She passed away when I was 18 years old from heroin addiction and prostitution. So I have firsthand experience with the diverse difference on how being prostituted, pimped out, especially on the streets directly. There's no choice. You don't have access to money. You're lucky if you eat, get to shower, get to sleep, all of that. You're put on drugs, and then sex workers, it's a choice. You do an I-9 or whatever, and you pay taxes on your OnlyFans money, and like you get to choose like buying yachts and traveling the world and like eating food and having nice stuff. So I think
Hardly
there's a
any
huge
people
difference on
make
like
money on there though. Like
being
they
a
just
sex
said.
worker and OnlyFans model and having a choice. And then there's also that middleman of the escort, where that person is still most of the time pimped or working for a business, but they have far more access to their money. And I just think that's the difference of like your rights as like a prostitute, being on the streets, working out of hotels and motels, and then also the being online or being a stripper too. It's like most of those people have access to their money in prostitutes. So that's basically it. So
I think, okay, so I listened to what you had to say, but here's my counter.
please give it to me.
You're just redefining what prostitute is because you want to make a delineation because sex worker sounds, thank you, at least socially less bad, less impactful.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's really what you're doing. You're just redefining terms, even though, no, you're wrong.
They're defined legally too. They're defined legally. Like they changed those laws in most cities.
They're defined legally
to protect prostitutes.
Yeah, but prostitution's a universal term. It's not just a localized one. So whether or not we locally define it a different way than, Venezuela or whatever, universalization of the term is not really in question. If you have sex with a man in exchange for money, you're a prostitute. Or if you do it in exchange for goods or in exchange for services, you're a prostitute.
But most OnlyFans models do solo work. Like you do mostly solo work and only do work with your husband. So how could she be know what I mean?
Let me help you out. If a woman, right, goes up into a hotel room, okay, and she gets naked and a guy jerks off to her naked while she's playing with herself and he finishes, did she engage in prostitution or not? If he pays her?
I would say yes, she did.
Then your argument's moot here. Because
most women these days don't go to hotels and
hang on. Your argument would be moot if you consider that woman to be a prostitute. The only distinction here is a video screen. And so it's like, I don't know how you make that argument in good faith because you just contradicted yourself. If it's the case that a woman goes up to a hotel room, gets paid money, and plays with herself until a man ejaculates, and all you put between that is a barrier of a screen, how do you not still consider it prostitution? That makes no sense to me.
Keeping the money or giving it to somebody after?
Well,
it's like my important distinction on
so
that.
then OF is...
Okay, all prostitutes don't give their money to a pimp. There are prostitutes that don't have pimps, right? All right, good night, Paul. Go take the dog for a
giving
walk.
a percentage of money to a digital pimp. I mean, what's the distinction?
I think it's mainly when it comes from...
Well, hang on. But you can't just agree and then still want to redefine because it's like... What's the difference between the guy comes in, your black pimp comes in and runs security and he has a toothpick in his hand? He looks like he's wearing a suit similar to this and he comes in and he has a toothpick in his mouth and he's like, hey man, I'm a pimp named Slickback and you got to give me $30 of the $100 you just made because I was outside making sure nobody came in here and bothered you.
You piqued my
and the
curiosity.
prostitute gives him $30 and out he goes. What's the difference between that and her just having 30% automatically deducted from what she made to the digital pimp? What the fuck is the difference?
But how would you define prostitution? Because no one's defined the term. And so
I did define it. I would consider prostitution to be sexual favors, right? Or selling sexual services in exchange for profit or goods or money or services.
I mean,
so like, hey, if, I'll have sex with you if you give me this part in a play, I consider that prostitution.
I'd agree.
I can understand the argument because you're looking from currently and you're saying like with the technology available, this should be considered as that. I feel like a lot of the stigma and antiquity around the term is because of what it physically actually was.
What do you mean?
I mean, like people actually, like the woman would become undesirable. She would be kind of downcast in society, and then she would get like meager amounts of money, and then be kind of physically, like used by men.
Can you explain how that was worse society? Like how's that a worse society that there's a stigma?
Oh no, there's
around
not.
sex
But
work?
it's like
it seems like that's a better society.
We put a
to me.
distinction between playing Call of Duty and shooting someone, right? And you could argue that like there's an amount of that where it's like, well, I'm pulling triggered someone else's avatar.
Wait a second, I got to take issue with this.
Sure.
So I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You can have like you can have the digital deed of like I play Red Dead Redemption and. I'll like lasso a chick and run her on the railroad tracks just to watch a train hit her because I think it's hilarious, right? There's a big distinction between that and real-time application. So I agree with you that nobody's actually getting hurt in Call of Duty. This is all fiction. This is all pixels on a screen, right? This type of thing. That's not the case here. This is not a digital display. This is a human display with the intent of creating a sexual environment so that men can basically be sexually gratified in exchange for resources. I don't know how you get around that.
I guess that is
exactly.
true, right?
For me, the point was actually just that like definitely real war violence. Would you call like video game war violence? I would say not, right? It's a representation, but it
doesn't meet the criteria because there would have to be something in material reality which was happening for there to be violence. So like if I say cartoon violence, why do I have to caveat it with cartoon? Because we're talking about, because we're making the caveat because this is something not happening in objective reality.
Sure, but then I feel like you lose some granularity with the term when you just throw that in the same. I mean,
I still don't get how
I
this
can
guy
understand
got that
doing that.
hot
I don't
redhead.
see it that way because I think you actually just lose context, right? Like when you go, oh, she's
I
a
think it
prostitute.
adds context. Like, doesn't it add the most amount of context? Like, because
you're being reductive, though.
I think that it's reductive the other way. I think that I think you're parsing instead, and that's where the reduction is going. I think that it's actually, I think that my term much more broadly captures what it is that people are talking about when they're discussing prostitution. And I don't understand why like a porn star, for instance, the only distinction is that.
All right, everybody in here. So if these are OnlyFans models / porn stars, do you think being an OnlyFans model is a form of prostitution? And the way he's explaining it is saying, well, you get paid to pleasure a man. Whether you're the one pleasuring him or not, he is looking at your photos and getting pleasure and ejaculating off of it. What do you guys think? Is Andrew right saying that OnlyFans stars, Playboy models, whatever, are still prostitution? Just curious what everybody else thinks.
Reviewing it through the lens of a monitor versus in person, you're doing the exact same thing, though. How's that not prostitution? I really don't understand that.
I think it just depends if you define it as like, is a male getting off to this, or is she fucking somebody in the same room? Whether it's like masturbation, like said, someone has a cuck fantasy, or they just like to watch.
Sure.
Okay, is she with the guy in a physical space? I think that's how most people would define prostitution.
In his head,
so then, by that definition, you would have to consider OF models who slept with men to be prostitutes.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah,
That
and then you
definition
would
for
also
sure.
have to say that all porn stars were prostitutes, right? But
Yeah.
do you see, though, how now we're only parsing out you with your particular type of content? That's not prostitution. Only all of this other type of content is. Doesn't that sound really convenient to parse it out that way? Like,
know.
because it excludes me.
I feel like it's still important though for like the individual, like in the case she mentioned, where it's like some prostitutes, they don't have a choice who they sleep with, right?
Well, I consider that slavery. Not
Yeah,
so
that's
I don't
trafficking.
I don't even consider that to be prostitution.
Yeah, human trafficking
So
for sure.
if it's the case that you're being forced to sleep with men against your will, that's not
You
prostitution.
think now they just
There's no
do porn?
intent there, right? That's sex slavery. That's a whole different ballgame, right? People who
Sure,
are
you
human
could have multiple
trafficked,
labels, yeah.
yeah, they're human trafficked. you don't need to call those people prostitutes because they're not. And I don't think we would. I don't think most people would be like, you were sold into sex slavery when you were 10. You were a prostitute. That doesn't even sound right, rolling off the tongue, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that we would put that in a different category of a sex slave, like a legitimate one. I'm not talking about the LARPing sex slave shit, but like that would be slavery. I don't think that fits the criteria. Prostitutes have agency. It is true that they do conventionally go to pimps and have less access to their money. They're paying them for protection. But there's many of them who do have access to their money.
Who's paying their pimps for protection? Because most people are either pimped out by their abusive boyfriends, or they are taken off the street. I mean, even here in California alone, like having a gorilla, but there's like 3 different distinctions
I'll give you some
between
examples.
Pimps, you know, and gorilla pimps especially are the most
I'll give you
violent,
examples. I've had.
They abduct people, and most prostitutes don't get.
I'll give you some examples.
Give away $30 out of 100. Like you give the whole 100, and you're lucky to get a McDonald's cheeseburger. And
well, then how could you make the distinction that this relationship isn't a pimp prostitute relationship? If he's getting a massive portion of that money because they're married. In fact, because they're married and share assets, he's entitled to 100% of the money. So does that mean that he's her pimp?
No.
Well, hang on. Let me ask you, does that mean he's her pimp? Because in this case, there's sex work going on with his wife.
Right on,
he's
Gavin.
Entitled to 100%.
I'm going to go as soon as this
words,
one's
he
done
could
too.
legally right now drain all of her accounts right this second, or him, right? And just leave tomorrow and spend all of it. And it's not illegal. So it's like, how would that not make that the same relationship you're talking about?
Again, I think it's just like subjective and by choice on like who suggested it first, like how mutual that decision is, you know, because you can be in relationships where you're manipulated, you're gaslighted into it, you're convinced like, hey, this is going to
I feel like I'm being gaslit right now, honestly.
You're a hot woman and like you're capable of it. But
how's this not gaslighting? I mean, isn't what's going on right now, you're trying to get me to accept a definition of prostitution that would be, one, ahistorical, and B, wouldn't actually encapsulate what it is that we're trying to talk about, what we're really discussing, which is women who are engaging in selling sex or sexual gratification to men and women in exchange for goods, services, money. Like that's what we're talking about when we're talking about a prostitute. Mm-hmm. And that matches with a much more historically accurate term. And by the way, there have always been elite prostitutes who did have access to their money. Absolutely.
Those are escorts.
Well, I'm talking in the historic term, right? There's always been a
historic term.
Yeah, there is historic term. Isn't it called the oldest profession?
No, I agree with you. When I'm talking about escorts and prostitutes, there's levels to this. There's like distinctive levels to like a prostitute. Sex slavery is underneath prostitution.
I agree.
Then there's escorts.
But hang on.
More access. They dress higher.
I don't mean to be nitpicky here, but I have to be a little bit nitpicky. I don't think that you're saying. When I hear you say this, it doesn't sound like there's levels of prostitution.
Where should I read you guys?
Granular difference between the types of prostitution you're engaged in. That's the difference. It's all prostitution. This is
under sex
hang on. This is the box of prostitution.
Sex work's a better descriptor.
Sex work.
I think it's under sex
work.
No,
sex work falls under the box of prostitution.
Like EDM, and then there's drum and bass, and there's rhythm, and there's dubstep. It's like sex work is the genre.
Read the definition.
And then there's the subgenre. Please go ahead. I'd love it.
Yeah. So I just Googled the definition. This is from Oxford Dictionary. Just also off of Google, prostitute, a person, in particular a woman, who engages in sexual activity for payment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you disagree with the definition?
Well, like I record a video of myself right now masturbating online and sold it to somebody. That wouldn't be.
Sorry.
Yes, it would. You'd be a prostitute.
Under this definition.
Engagement is.
All right, guys. So that means we're going to end this right here.
Wasn't
pause it. Okay, so we're gonna end it right here. I am going to raid another stream. I'll send you guys a Laura Loomer because I have to raid some streams each month now as part of my whole blah blah blah. So we're gonna raid Ilhan. I mean, we'll go. The only one that's really live right now is Laura Loomer. So let's just raid her real quick. So we just raided her stream. Night, y'all.